Hey, Stefano, look who's in the house.
From the park to the city, stories told our way. Quick scroll, one tap, kamo kua uru mai koe.
Hey, I don't know.
Tō mātou reo.
Kia au te MＡORI, kia au.
Tō mātou puku hohe.
So a lot of eggplant emojis there,
Tō
Matamata.
mātou tirohanga. Stream it, cast it, carry it with you. Download MāORI Plus on your devices.
E te iwi no maharama ki tēnei pāpāhotanga whakaata Māori, ka mihi ki ngā maunga ngā wai me ngā ahika o tēnei rohe. Tēnā rā koutou katoa, ki ngā kaiwhakahaere me ngā kaiwhakataitai. He mihi mahana hoki ki a koutou. We'd like to take a moment to acknowledge and thank our sponsors and supporters. First, a big thank you to Whakaata Māori for providing the platform to share this event with whānau across Aotearoa, helping us showcase our rangatahi and bring the action to audiences free of charge and accessible no matter where you are located. We'd also like to acknowledge and thank the Taura Whiri i Te Reo Māori for their ongoing support and development with Te Reo Māori and strengthening its presence in events like this. A huge thank you as well to our sponsors Bailey's Real Estate, Caltex, Ativa, Apollo Projects and Anchor, whose sponsorship enables us to share this event with you and your whānau for backing the growth of sport and community initiatives across Aotearoa. Now, whānau, let's have a look at our teams. For St. John's Collegiate, at the number 1, we've got Jesse Boyton. Number 2, Liam Caton. Number 3, Nathan Rogers. William Botherway at number 4. J. Morris Rawiri at number 5. Xavier Eagles at number 6. Quinn Snowden at number 7. Monu Fahiki at number 8. Number 9, Riley Eagles. 10, Koutu Maioa. Apologies for the pronunciation on that one. Whānau he ingoa ua tērā. Mo te kaumatahi, number 11, Remy Corona. Number 12, Ollie Penfold. Number 13, Levi Mulder. Number 14, Cooper Smith. 15, we've got Luteru Leilua. 16, Ali Hewitt. Number 17, Connor Wallace. Jacob Van Stralen at the number 18 spot. Number 19, Elias Piripi. 20, Aita Maiua. 21, Hunter Pert Bailey. 22, Zach Johnson. Nā reira, ko tērā ko St. John's Collegiate all the way from Kirikiriroa, Hamilton whānau, and for Hawke's Bay whānau from St. Paul's Collegiate. At the number 1 spot, Lucas Hall. Number 2, Jackson Hill Brown. Number 3, Chris Kahotea. Number 4, Gus Weir. Number 5, Alex Young. Number 6, George Benjamin. Number 7, Rory Boynton. 8, Lockie Young. Number 9, Jamie Silich. Number 10, Harry Kilmister. Number 11, Dylan McLaren. Number 12, Caleb Blake. Number 13, Hadley Thompson. Number 14, Caleb De Bruin. Number 15, Jackson Hay. Number 16, Victor McLeod. Number 17, Chase Thompson. Number 18, Josh Kibbe. Number 19, Jack Pocock. Number 20, Jane Very. Number 21, Bill Smith. Number 22, Lockie McGo. Nā reira whānau ko era o tātou tīma. Kia mautonu mai, a wawe nei ka timata tō tātou kēmu I Whanganui e nei kapa e rua. And we saw St. John's College and St. Paul's Collegiate just a couple weeks ago. St. Paul's had a beautiful game just a couple weeks ago against Lindisfarne College in the beautiful Hawke's Bay. Hawke's Bay, unfortunately, has had a string of bad weather whānau. Mena ka noho koutou ki konei. Ki te matawa mau ka kiti a koutou te ua, ngā kapua, tata ki iara. Engari whānau kia mautonu mai, a wawe nei ka timata tēnei kēmu. I Whanganui e nei kape e rua, St. John's College, Hato Hone, no Kirikiriroa, St. Paul's Collegiate, no te matawa Māori. Nā reira, kia mautunu mai koutou. Akitea e tātou e te whānau, te timatanga o enei roku e rua o te tāone awa, ka ki au no te tāone awa, o te Waikato, ko Hato Hone, rāua ko Hato Paura, te roto te reo Māori. In Māori, it's Hato Aura, Hato Hone and Hato Paura, St. John's and St. Paul's. Para ue te umeretanga o enei, tēnei whānau. Ko tērā St. Paul's i te pango, te whakamihi atu ki Hato Hone, St. John's. Wawe nei ka timata ngā haka o enei kura e rua. Very soon we should see the hakas, if they choose to do one, not every school does. There we go, whānau. Ko ngā haka e rā o e nei kura e roa. Hato one, hato paura. O hato paura i te wango. Hato one i te taurangi i te kōwhai. Oof. Haka whānau. To get the intensity of the game ramped up. I was lucky to catch a game by St. Paul's just a couple of weeks ago, and I saw a lot of good skills from our rangatahi. Very agile, very disciplined. Looking forward to what our rangatahi put on another display.
Boys, big discipline, let's take an extra step. Wait, what's short? Get it, Jay.
But I found out we are almost hitting for our first tip-off. We're off our note. We're on to it now. Strong ruck here from St. John's. St. Paul's doing a good job communicating. Picked out, unfortunately. Should be a line out here for St. Paul's. We see our whānau here come to watch their rangatahi. It should be a tap and go. You can feel the energy already from both of these teams. Whānau, both teams wanting a strong start here. St. Paul's with the penalty. And an early chance to put some points on the board. No need to force anything early. St. Paul's will want to show some discipline here. And you can already see St. Paul's are doing a good job at communicating. Players. Hoki o e nei kākane. Strong pass there by St. Paul's. Very physical. Not afraid to get physical is St. Paul's. Trying to run through. St. John's doing a good job on defense so far. Thought that was a drop ball. Yep, and it'll be a turnover here. So far, St. John's doing a good job on defense. Good line speed defensively. St. Paul's doing a good job to start.
Look up, George. One side, George. Hold it! Hold!
Strong run there by Saint. On it. Just through the hand. And Paul's player gets it right. I just want to Iwaha. Better if you make a mistake, keep going. The line out here. St. John should get the ball back here. You never know. Couple of early nerves there, maybe. Pace plus the intensity of both teams. So far, strong start for both teams. So, yeah. Should be a knock on here called. And St. John's will get the ball back, get there by Aire Tonu. Both teams doing a good job. Territory kicking. Been in both, deep in both halves now. And the breakdown is scrum, get the by Aire Tonu. We'll see who can set the pace early in this game between St. Paul's and St. John's. Breakdown in the scrum, St. Get it here. The attack go. Kick, sorry. Ai ko te ki te roko e tahi o ngā whānau e amu ana. Ko tērā te aroha mo te kēmu nei. I love to hear the parents of the whānau caring for their rangatahi, their tamariki. St. Paul's trying to set pace early here. Beautiful run here. Good defense by St. John's. Very close. Very close again. Despite the error, St. Paul's setting the tone early. Second scrum for the day, whānau. Whoever scores next, set the pace for this half. Really set the shape of this half. Beautiful mahi here by St. Paul's. Beautiful intercept there by St. John's. St. Paul's get the ball back, very close to their line now. Strong physical play here by St. Paul's, trying to get over the line. Very close to the line, this. The Tino Tata. Tino Tata. Oh, beautiful mahi here by St. Paul's, and he gets it down. Nā e rima tērā mō St. Paul's. Again, St. Paul's setting the pace here very early on, their physical play. You'll try to make it 7. Just a little bit off to the left. Get the bike, Kahari Tonu. St. Paul's are on the board. That'll settle the nerves for a second. A great start for them and a well-worked try. Again, setting the pace physically very early on in this first half is St. Paul's. A breakthrough that they were looking through and the pressure they set early from the very first kickoff pays off. We'll see here if St. John's can make a response. Ka kite a koutou, mena he whakautu. Drop the ball there, St. Paul's, kei te pai, ka haere tonu, St. John's will get it here. Hei aha te hara, te he, hei aha tērā, ka haere tonu. We've got our third scrum of the afternoon. They say the scrum shows you which team has the physical advantage. I don't know if I believe it, but you can be the judge. St. John's, the best field position of the game so far. Very close to their line. Beautiful pass out there. And he gets one down. Beautiful mahi here. Karawete mahi o tēnei. Kaiaka tēnei rangatahi no St. John's. E whakautu no St. John's mō tērā. Whānau. We are tied up here, whānau. Rima ki te rima. With just under 30 more minutes to go in this first half. And it's anybody's game, whānau. Ka kite a koutou, ka kite a tātou. Mena ka whitu ki te rima. Rima ki te rima rānei. Huge response here by St. John's. And just a little bit to the right. Kei te pai, ka haere tonu. Again, a perfect time to even things up very early on in the game. These games so far, whānau, have been very competitive if you've been watching over this season. Beautiful catch there by St. John's. But a double knock on, it should be a scrum here. We'll see who has the physical advantage here in our fourth scrum of the afternoon rather. Beautiful work in the scrum there by St. Paul's as they get the ball off quick. Little chip and chase, caught by St. John's. Strong right there by St. John's. Up the back, but it'll be a handover and a line out to St. Paul's. But again, beautiful play there by St. John's early on as we approach the halfway mark of this first quarter final. Beautiful physicality there by St. Paul's, but it'll be St. John's ball. Referee says an offside there. Again, the tempo of this game has been very quick and very intense. As we go for another scrum, St. John's should get the ball back here again. Neither side really beginning to control possession. Both teams pretty even so far in the first 15 minutes of this game. There's a breakdown in the scrum. Kei te pai ka haere tonu. Ref said knock on there if you're just wondering. Chance to apply pressure here from St. John's in their half of the field, looking to make some position. The winger was just a little bit too back to catch that catch that pass rather. And it'll be another scrum here to St. Paul's. I know we are all tied up and the intensity of this game has been crazy. Both packs driving really hard. St. Paul's with a quick play. Strong tackle there by St. John's. Another quick play. St. Paul's trying to break through the defense. Almost 20 minutes in this game final, and it's been a strong contest so far. Neither side really controlling territory as we're all tied up. No signs of fatigue just yet. Some discipline issues here, unfortunately. Kei te pai, ka haere tonu. Ka haere tonu, ka ako. O tērā te kiwaha o taku kaiako I ngā wai te noi noi au. Ka haere tonu, ka ako. Line up here for St. John's. Strong run here. Beautiful pass out the back. Off to the wing. St. Paul's doing a good job on defense. Quick play here. Trying to get through the middle. Trying to set up the play on the edges. That'll be a turnover to St. Paul's. Good job in the ruck. And a big boot. Big boot to claim back some territory. Little banana kick out the back. And a big boot and a line out. And St. Paul should keep it here. It's good to hear the communication between our young players, talking and trying to set up the plays. "20 minutes have gone now, and this has been a quality contest so far. Territory shifted a few times, but both sides have defended strongly under pressure. Feels like the next score could swing the momentum. Engari, you never know. We've seen some comebacks in this game whānau this season. Lindisfarne last week, down by 20 at one point, and we're able to make a comeback. Didn't win the game, lost by just 1 point, but still showed incredible resilience and mana. No, rima ki te rima, St. Paul's, St. John's, all tied up. Neither team really given an inch. The bench has been on top in the recent minutes. Very physical, whānau, but still very even out there.
Yeah, fresh meat here. Let's go, Alex, go. Let's go, all on Jay, on Jay. On Jay.
We're back whānau. Nice little pass at the back, but can't quite find the player. Ke te pai, ka haere tonu. St. Paul's with it at the very halfway mark. Caught by St. John's. Beautiful mahi there by St. John's to get the ball back at the very halfway mark here. If I know they're going to want to make up some territory, put some distance between them and St. Paul's. Strong mahi here in the ruck. Offside. Could be a tap and go. They'll go for the kick instead. Beautiful mahi here by St. John's. Hato hone. Into the final 20 minutes of this first half now, Whanganui. St. Paul's with it. Bit of space between them. Strong run here by St. Paul's. Tries to get it off. Lost. And it'll be a turnover. Get the pie. Momentum starting to become really important. Both teams trying to build momentum, but just a bit of discipline issues. Get the pie. Haere tonu. Very evenly matched so far in the Kapa Erua. Strong pass. Strong run here through the middle. Beautiful mahi here by St. John's. Bit of confusion here. Get the fight. Haere tonu. Very messy ruck. Get the pie. Haere tonu. Strong run through the middle here. St. John's very close to their try line now. Great pass over the top. A bit of a chipper chase caught by St. Paul's. Get the bite. Great job defensively here by St. Paul's. St. John's in their territory now, very close to their try line. The big boot over the top. St. John's catch. But it'll be a turnover and a knock on to St. Paul's. So far, Whanganui, this is what I like to call an arm wrestle. Both teams relying on their physicality. Trying to build pressure. Big boot over the top by St. Paul's. Very big boot by St. Paul's. Made up a lot of territory there with that one kick. And the kick back. Figured about the step. Strong run here by St. Paul's. Finally, we're into our last 15 minutes of this first half so far. An arm wrestle, very physical, very even. Bit of a chip and chase here over the top. Could be St. John's. Beautiful save there. St. Paul's will get the line out. Very close to St. John's try line. Beautiful mahi here. Excellent work over the ball. Big kick over the top. St. John's with it. Beautiful pass out the back. Goes for the chip and chase, but goes out of bounds. Get there by Haere tonu. Again, St. John's setting up a lot of good plays. Just a bit of trouble on the discipline side by both teams. Engari, ka hara, ka ako. You live, you learn. Ke te pai o Haere tonu. Hitting the crucial stage before half-time, Whanau. Very close to the try line. I can't see if it was a try or not to St. John's. We'll soon see. I think that's a no. I think that's a line out to St. Paul's. Get the bye very close though. St. John's doing a great job to set the tone of this first half. They are building momentum. Caught by St. Paul's. I believe a knock on. St. John's will get the ball back very close to their try line. Coming up to the final 10 minutes of this first half, I know. You do not want to concede another try before the break. Engari, we'll see. St. Paul's are doing a great job defensively with a few minor discipline issues, but I'm sure coach will address that at halftime. All square, far note, very tight contest out there. It's another breakdown in the scrum. Kei te pai. Haere tonu. These collisions and the scrums are getting heavier and heavier, if I know. A lot of intensity though. St. John's with it, kei te pai. By final coming up on the final 10 of this first half. We are all tied up. A line out to St. John's, very close to their try line. Gets the ball out, beautiful mahi there by St. John's. Strong run through the middle. St. Paul's doing a great job on the defense. Strong tackle there, very close, inching closer and closer. St. Paul's doing a great job in their ruck to get it back. Saved the day there. Did not want to concede a try before halftime. They hear their coach screaming at them. If you're anything like me. There's a big opportunity here before halftime. Beautiful pass here by St. Paul's. Strong mahi here in the ruck. And a big boot over the top. Try to make up some territory. A bit of a banana kick there, very high. Coming down, caught again by St. Paul's. Beautiful mahi. Beautiful mahi through the middle here by St. Paul's. Looking for gaps in the defense. Over the top. But I'd like to call a basketball pass. A knock on, and St. John's will get it back here. Kei te pai. Again, St. John's doing a very good job to stay in their territory. They're half of the field. St. John's are building nicely here. Very good discipline by St. John's. Taking advantage of errors. Both sides have had their moments. So far, neither side being able to break away. We're tied up here, going into Half time at 5-5. Beautiful mahi here by St. John's. And the pass over the top, but gets a bite. Strong mate here by St. John's. St. John's in their territory, wanting to get another try before halftime. Crucial period now, critical point in the game. Trying to put some distance in between them and St. Paul's. Te pai, ka haere tonu, he a te hara, he a te he, ka haere tonu. Ka pai whānau. Both teams want to finish this half off strong. Neither side wants to concede, but St. John's seem to have the momentum here. We'll see if they can turn 5 to 8. Ka pai whānau. Waru ki te rima I nai nei, ka rawe ki te kitea. Tai e kouta ki te rongo ki ngā whānau e umere ana mo o rātou tamariki tā rātou whanau rānei, ki tērā te aroha o tēnei kēmu. That's the passion for the game whānau, e kōrero ana. Nice catch there by St. John's, but St. Paul's quick on the defense. Gets the ball out, big boot over the top. It's a little bit too far, and he's out. Kick out on the full, get the bite, haere tonu. Ka pai te whānau. Ka pai whānau, ko tērā te wahanga tuatahi o tēnei kēmu o Whanganui e a hato, hone, rauko, hato, paora. That's the first half of this. That is the first half between these two groups, St. John's and St. Paul's. Ka mautori mai ki tēnei kēmu o Whanganui e nei ropu e rua. Ka kite a koutou I te kaha o enei kāka o enei rangatahi. Stay tuned, whānau. We'll be right back with our second half. 8-5, St. John's, St. Paul's.
Hey, whānau, look who's in the house.
From the park to the city, stories told our way. Quick scroll, one tap, ka mau, kua uru mai koe.
Hey, ata nā koe.
Tō mātou reo,
Kia au te MāORI, te MāORI, kia
tō
au.
mātou puku hohe,
So what up, ekwana emojis there,
tō
mate.
mātou tirohanga. Stream it, cast it, carry it with you. Download MāORI Plus on your devices.
That is tough. Kei aku nui, kei aku rahi, anei rā, a haka feels.
Ours is make sure that everyone knows who we are.
Te whāinga matua, kia rangatira te tū, kia Whanganui te tū.
You hear my brother say, stop.
I want to win. I want to win. Let's go! I know your haka feels. Te mihi atu nei.
Funding is a real challenge. We know that a lot of schools face that ongoing, and the reality is if you go to a lower decile school in New Zealand, you are less likely to be able to afford to participate in sport.
Obviously, having come through it myself with kids and being one of those kids myself who played sport, I know how much it defined who I was. And now being able to go, I can't fix it all, but we can help and try and give to those people who are going through tough times. It's a real privilege, but you know, for us, we want to see others get involved in it. This is not a selfish thing for Apollo. This is about how can we get, whether it's construction or other businesses, to get involved in this.
There's a lot of things that kids miss out on, and so to have businesses step up and want to be involved and to help is a game changer for schools. It really is.
It's time for action. We are working to reduce the impacts of climate change, side by side with nature, with each other, through research, investment, and practical innovation. Because nature is not a resource, it's a collaborator. Nativa, leading with nature.
Sport is about more than just a game. It's about going from teammates to best mates. It's the high fives and helping hands. It's learning when to back yourself or back your buddies. It's actually being excited to get out of bed early on a Saturday. Sport is about more than just a game. That's why Caltex is proud to help fuel school sports.
Ka pai whānau nau mahuki mai ki tēnei kēmu I Whanganui a hato hone, rau ko hato pāora. 8 to 5 whānau, neither side has shown any signs of fatigue. Further problems with discipline, engari ka haere tonu, hei aha tērā. Strong intensity right off the boot there by St. John's. Great job to defend their line. Big 40 minutes ahead of us whānau. So stay tuned, kia mau tonu mai. Tēnei kēmu, ki kirikiri roa. Nice job there by St. John's. Both sides looking for a strong start, almost out on the floor. Kete Pai catches it. St. John's looking to return the big boot. Very close to out on the full. Again, whānau, we're watching a game of rugby, not a slip through the hands. St. Paul will look to take advantage of the error. Not a lot of gaps in the defense of St. John's, though. Again, a very intense start to this second half, sorry. Strong run there by number 12. Mahi here in the ruck by St. Paul's. Good play through the middle of the defense. Strong tackle there by St. John's. Almost got away. Not quite. St. John's doing a great job here on defense. Gets the ball out. Very close to the try line is St. Paul's. Strong passes here. Beautiful mahi by Arangatai. Number 13, looking for those gaps in the defense of St. John's. Finds a few, but St. John's right back onto it. Trying to crawl over, caught by St. John's. Almost out on the full, not quite. St. Paul's with it again. A little bit high there by St. And it takes them out. Beautiful mahi here by St. John's. Again, St. Paul's trying to shift the momentum. Very close game here. Whanau, Waru ki te rima 8-5. I feel like everybody knows what Waru is and everybody knows what rima is. Nā reira, mai nene ko te Waru ki te rima. I know St. John's have come out with real intent here, doing a great job on defense. Ai te awangawanga te amamura nei ki ngā referees. Front boot there by St. John's, caught by St. Paul's. The big boot return. Almost out on the full, caught by St. John's. Beautiful mahi here. Deflected. Be a line out here to St. John's. It's a little bit too far. Every mistake, very costly now. St. Paul's. Caught, intercepted by St. John's. Beautiful mahi there. St. Paul's get it back though. Beautiful response there by St. Paul's. St. Paul's have been great in the ruck whānau this entire game. St. Paul's played with a lot of physicality. Now te hara, hea te he, ka haere tonu. A head high tackle, says the referee. He takes the kick. And St. Paul's will get it back here. Again, just Just over 5 minutes have gone by now, whānau, in the second half of this game. And what's been a very intense match between St. Paul's Hato Paora, Rawa ko Hato Hone. Very close to their try line, whānau. Strong run there by number 22, not afraid to go against all the defenders. Beautiful mahi here by St. Paul's, very close to their try line. Looks very close to the try line now, whānau. Woo! Beautiful mahi there by St. Paul's. Ka kite au koutou te mahi o enei ka enei rangatahi. Te kau ki te waru. Again, St. Paul's doing beautiful mahi inside the ruck, playing very physical. We'll see if we can get this 10 to a 12. Wawenei kia kite au koutou.
Hello. Good, how are you?
Both teams struggling with the conversions today. We'll see if St. Paul's can upset that. Just a little bit off. Kei te pai, ka haere tonu. Score stays 8-10. Only 2 points separating these two teams, whānau. And what's been very intense and very physical. I'm not seeing a lot of signs of fatigue by either side, but a little bit of errors creeping in here and there. Kei te pai, ka haere tonu. Must be the physical toll of this match, and it's becoming obvious, whānau. Would it be now in the first 10? Battle of appearance at next segment. It's there by St. Paul's. Sneaky boot there by St. Paul's. Over the top. Caught by St. John's. Great job on the defense. Looking for the holes in the defense. Beautiful mahi here by St. John's. Looking to respond. Advantage. St. John's. Coming up on the final 30 of this match. Everything on the line now. You can feel the tension building. I feel the tension very tough.
Boys, chase line, eh? Chase line. Ben behind, Chrissy behind. Connect. Large!
Whanganui.
Let's play this out, play this. Okay, not straight again. Easy money. Let's get Alex up, eh? Bronco, check eyes.
Line up here. St. John's.
On side, Bronco, left. Check. Do it properly, both score early. Bronco. Hey, Bronco, boys. Bronco, you go. Yeah. On
We'll properly assess the lift. Still passing. Play here by St. John's. Here the intensity is being picked up in the St. Paul's. St. John's though doing a good job on defense. Picked up by St. Paul's. Cutting through the defense. Beautiful mahi here by Ine Rangatahi. Oh, and the person left his head. That happens. Luckily, we've been able to de-escalate it. But again, both teams not giving an inch, not wanting to lose here. Can't blame them. It's just a passion for the game. The ref here will have a word with both of them. St. Paul's take the big kick. Again, I'm going to put some distance in between them and St. John's. Great effort by St. Paul's. But St. John's still in this. Good money there by St. Paul's. Again, only one converted try sitting between St. John's and St. Paul Whanganui, so St. John's still very much in this. Both teams giving it everything. St. John's playing very physically. St. Paul's doing a great job. But momentum shifts towards St. Paul's. Sneaky boot over the top by St. Paul's. Big boot down the edge. Looking to catch it, but St. Paul's up by St. Paul's. Beautiful mahi here. Costly area by St. John's as we come up on the final 15. Final 25 rather. Goes for the chip and chase. Caught by the St. John's. Almost caught. Beautiful run there by St. John's. Pressure on their try line, St. Paul's try line rather. Big boot over the top. Could be out on the full note. For my heat. Up says the boys. St. Paul's. Slip through the hand. St. John's. Right, we'll move. And here, right, Maddie. It's a very intense match. Again, coming up on the 25 minutes. Through the hands of the St. Paul's player, picked up by St. John's. Full play here by St. John's. We go for the sticky boot over the top, right? Out on the floor, get the back on it. Move, save, good, get it back here.
We got the St. Paul's!
Again, St. Paul's working really well here together. Small areas here and there. Still playing really well. Central should get the minute on the very halfway mark. Beautiful pressure to play there. They shoot a little bit late. A little bit late on that tackle. Big boot here by St. Paul's. Slip through the hands of the St. John's player. St. Paul's, get it down, beautiful mahi here by St. Paul's. Ano. Te mahi rawe o enei kaiaka. My fun, I thought that he got the ball down. It will be a scrum here. Coming up on the final 20 minutes of this game. Both teams making a great effort here. Working really hard right to the end. Still lots of energy. Little injury here, Pano, for the St. John's player. Hopefully nothing too Whanai whanau ko te waru ki te tukama toru. 8-13. Just one converted try sitting between these two teams. One try rather. It's a pause and play here. As the player is helped off. It's been a really even contest so far, but St. Paul seem to have the momentum. We'll see if St. John's can't snatch it back in the final 20 minutes of this second half. I know. And good to see the players getting the attention that they need rather than playing on. Strong scrum here by St. Paul's, very close to the try line. Strong run there, very close, gets the ball out, and beautiful mahi here by St. Paul's. Beautiful ruckus, get it by Te Aroha mo te Kemu. Beautiful passage of play there by St. Paul's to get the ball out, right out to the scrum and go through the holes in defence of St. John's. I try to make it 20. Again, whānau. Only 20 more minutes left of this game, so still anybody's game. St. John's making some errors here and there, but still playing fantastic. Mena ko e nei o koutou tamariki, o koutou whanaunga rānei, kia mai o koutou o koutou tamariki, hei aha katoa, whangaro rānei. And he makes it. Great effort by everybody on the field so far. I know this is shaping up to be a very good game and a great final 20 minutes of between these two cuppa. I love to hear the boys celebrating. From there, Fano and April should get the ball back. We'll see. Again, St. Paul's working really well together. They stole momentum early on in the second half. And St. John's looking to respond. Beautiful mahi here by St. Paul's rather. Almost picked up by St. Paul's. St. John's get it back. St. John's will get it. Very close to their try line now. Again, St. Paul's looking to build some distance between them and St. John's. Kaore rātou ka hihia. Kia ngaro I tēnei wā. Rua tekau noiho community I Whanganui. I naine me te mutunga o tēnei kēmu. Strong ruck here by St. Paul's. Advantage to St. John's, Hatohone.
He's a lefty. Watch this way. I want 8 guys. Didn't change here. He's left-footed.
You come soft. If he picks, come forward. I'll take it. If he goes, then you come. Only left foot, get up, walking. Stay soft, Connor, stay soft. Okay, might as well get off. Yo, Checo. Play maybe, Checo.
Bit of a kick over the top, beautiful mahi, kei te pai, ka haere tonu, hea te hara, hea te he, ka haere tonu. Yeah, line up here to St. Paul's, very close to their try line. Strong mahi here in the ruck by St. Paul's. Beautiful mahi to stay behind his defenders. Looking for the holes in the defense here as St. Paul's trying to put some distance between them and St. John's. Beautiful pass out to the wing. Chip and chase. What goes out to get the bike. Haere Tonu. Plenty still happening in this one final. Both teams still giving everything out there. Great contest this has been so far. Energy building towards the end. Caught by St. John's, looking to push back into their territory. Advantage, St. John's gets the ball out, beautiful mahi. Big boot there by St. John's. By Whanganui coming up on the final 15 of what's been a very intense match between St. Paul's, St. John's, Hato Hone, Hato Paora. I te tāone o te awa, o Kirikiriroa. Ki tērā whenua o Tainui, Wakato Tainui. Beautiful catch there by St. John's. Gets the ball wide out. Strong run here, looking for gaps in defense. Gets it out to the wing, slips through their hands. Knock on. Frustrating, starting to build. St. Paul's will get the ball here. Strong scrum there in pause. Beautiful passing. Setting up the plays. Same pause. Strong run there through the defense. Couldn't quite get through, but a beautiful run nevertheless. Another strong run here by St. Paul's. Again, St. Paul's playing very patiently. Knock on, called by the ref, gated by Haere Tonu. Handover. Approaching the final 10 minutes of this game, Whanganui. You can really see the effort from both teams now. Big defensive sets being made. And still plenty of energy right to the end. Again, momentum seems to be on St. Paul's side as we come up to the final 10 minutes, but we'll see if St. John's can make a comeback. Anything possible, Whanganui. Maintain faith. Beautiful pass there at the back. And an offload. And just slips through the hands. Kete Paika, Haere Tonu, St. Paul's. Get it back here, very close to their try line. O te ki o te rangatira o enei kemu, tēnei kemu ki te paoro. Kiti a tātou te kaha o ngā kai tākaro i te wā o te scrum. Ara mai whānau, ka re te moi o te kupu mo te scrum. Great job to recover the ball there. St. Paul still with it. Great defense. And a turnover, ki te pai, ka haere tonu. And the scrum coming up here, whānau. Nō ka ki te koutou te kaha o ngā kai tākoro. St. John's with it. And a breakdown on the scrum, kei te pai. Haere tonu, hea te hara, hea te he. Small errors here and there, whānau. But both sides right in it. Beautiful pass here by St. John's. Again, looking to recapture the momentum in the second half. Small gap in the defense. Beautiful run here by St. John's. Again, just over 10 minutes left, Tano. Just under, sorry. Beautiful run here right through the defense by St. John's. Doing a better job on discipline this time round. Advantage, St. John's, big boot over the top. And turnover, ki te pai, haere tonu. Play on by St. Paul's. Big boot returned. And an out on the full, ki te pai. Haere tonu. Ka pai whānau, tata ki te whakamatunga o tēnei kiami o Whanganui ēnei ka pai rua, hato haora, hato paora, hato hone. Line in by St. John's. Line out rather. Gets it off to his man. Beautiful mahi. Strong tackle there by St. Paul's. Good job to get the ball out. Jump and chase. And we hand over ki te pai ka haere tonu. Line out here for St. Paul's.
Boys, a minute. Hurry, check on. 1 minute, 20. Let's play smart.
Check we can clock ice for a minute. A minute 20. Go same way. Clock ice. Forward. Go. Alec. Clock ice. Same way.
Into the final minutes now, Whanau. Closing stages of the game. Plenty still happening here. Both teams still working hard right to the end. And a great contest so far.
Stop. 5, 1, 6.
Picked up by St. John's. Beautiful run here. St. Paul's doing a good job on defense. Looking at crush right through the defense. There's St. John's again, playing with a lot of intensity. Not afraid to get physical. Slips through the hands of the St. John's player. Ke te pai, haere tonu. St. John's will get it back. Ka pai whanau, tata ki te whakamutunga o tēnei kēmu. St. John's inching ever closer to their try line. Great last chance building here. They're working really well together now. Good patience through the phases. Hatapaura te poro. E reo kikera, ko tēra te whakamutunga o tēnei kēmu whanau. Waru ki te rua te kau, aroha mai mō te taima I runga I te ātami. On the screen whanau. Ko tēra te whakamutunga. You can really see the effort from both teams today. Again, St. John's playing with a lot of physicality, but a couple of errors here and there. I'm sure the coaches will have a talk about that. Engari ki te pai, ka haere tonu, hea te harahea te here, they should be very proud of themselves. St. Paul's coming away with the win, 20 points. Great effort from them and a fantastic game of rugby. This has been great commitment right to the end. Both teams should be very proud of their performance. Mena ko enei o koutou tamaiti o tamaraki whanaunga he aha rānei. Should be very proud of their whānau. And finally, hei whakakapea ki I tēnei kēmu o te whatupaura. Nō reira, o tu wā mātou, mahi I tēnei rā. Ki ngā kai whakahaere, me ngā kai whakatātai. Kia haumaru te haere, tēnā koutou katoa. O tūhora mai ki tēnei whaka oho ora mai. Mea mihi ki a St. Paul's katopaura mea hota hone. Hato hone hoki.